The story of Joseph, from betrayal to triumph. Once upon a time, in the land of Canaan, there was a young man named Joseph. He was the 11th son of Jacob, born to his beloved wife Rachel, and Jacob loved Joseph more than any of his other sons. To show his love, Jacob gave Joseph a special coat of many colors, a beautiful gift that made his brothers jealous and angry. One day, Joseph had a dream, and he couldn't wait to share it with his brothers. In the dream, they were all working in the fields, and Joseph's bundle of grain stood upright, while all of their bundles bowed down to his. His brothers were furious and said, "Are you going to rule over us?" But Joseph had another dream, and this time he told it to his father and brothers. In this dream, the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed down to him. His father Jacob rebuked him but kept the dream in his heart. The brothers' jealousy grew, and one day, when Joseph went to check on them as his father had asked, they plotted to kill him. But the eldest brother, Reuben, persuaded them not to, and instead they threw Joseph into a dry pit, planning to leave him there to die. However, when Judah, one of the brothers, saw a caravan of Ishmaelite traders passing by, he suggested they sell Joseph to them instead. So, they pulled Joseph out of the pit and sold him for 20 pieces of silver. The brothers then dipped Joseph's coat in goat's blood and showed it to their father Jacob, leading him to believe that Joseph had been killed by a wild animal. In Egypt, Joseph was sold to Potiphar, the captain of Pharaoh's guard. Joseph worked hard and gained Potiphar's trust, but Potiphar's wife tried to seduce Joseph, and when he refused her advances, she falsely accused him of attempting to assault her. As a result, Joseph was thrown into prison. Even in prison, Joseph remained faithful and worked diligently. His ability to interpret dreams became known, and one day, Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker, who were also in prison, had troubling dreams. Joseph interpreted their dreams, and his predictions came true. The cupbearer was restored to his position, but the baker was executed. 2 years later, Pharaoh himself had a troubling dream that none of his wise men could interpret. The cupbearer remembered Joseph's ability and told Pharaoh about him. Joseph was brought before Pharaoh and interpreted his dream, predicting 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine. Pharaoh was so impressed that he made Joseph the second in command over all of Egypt, putting him in charge of storing grain during the years of abundance. The famine hit, and it spread to many lands, including Canaan. Joseph's brothers came to Egypt to buy grain, but they didn't recognize Joseph, now a powerful leader. After several encounters, Joseph revealed his identity to them, saying, "I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Egypt." His brothers were terrified, but Joseph reassured them, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. It was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you." Joseph forgave them, and he invited his father, Jacob, and the whole family to live in Egypt, where they were provided for during the remaining years of famine. Joseph's story is one of hope, restoration, and faith, reminding us that God is always with us, working behind the scenes for our good, even in the toughest of times. If you believe God can turn your story around, type Amen. In the comment section, like, share, follow and subscribe for more Bible insights.